So I'm Zach, and I run my brand called HOME1NVASION. So I've been doing it for close to 5 years, and I'd say it's like a creatively driven home decor fashion brand that I've run. So I started off just making stuff that I think would like make my room look cooler, and then ever since then in lockdown, I've just built this brand and just kind of make it as cool as I can at the moment.
Mean. And so how do you make them? Because I had a friend downstairs, Harris, he used to make them with that gun, and you kind of strap it up.
Yeah, so yeah, I have explored using it's called a tufted rug gun and stuff, and I had like quite a few like good successful moments doing that as well. I did start off with like printed rugs to begin with,
Okay.
and then kind of from the rugs I've kind of transformed into like plant pots, plushies, collectibles, shoes, like fashion stuff. So
Okay.
just I kind of just like not like to have any limitations and just make anything that I think would be cool.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, when I was looking at your stuff, I was like, oh, he's really just an artist.
Yeah, I think I never really thought of myself like that until I was at my friend's place in the US, and then his parents would like be like, oh, like his name's Leo. I was like, oh, Leo's friend's here. He's an artist, and I was like, oh, like it's weird to be called like an
Yeah.
artist because yeah, back in school I couldn't draw. Like I I just never really thought I was like someone who was like artistically gifted, but I guess through other mediums, like people do see it, and it's pretty cool to be called an artist.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes,
totally. I think you're right. I mean, I could never draw or anything like that. And one of my managers said to me once, and I was like 20, she was like, I think you could be a creative director. And I was like, eh? Like, that's so bizarre. And then I kind of like started to work on looking at things differently, and now I do some creative stuff. Was that sort of creative side nurtured from like your parents and stuff? Or was
Yeah.
it difficult to cut it through?
I think like in hindsight now, looking back, so my mom's from Hong Kong, my dad's a Kiwi here, and just growing up, I was born in New Zealand. We moved to Hong Kong when I was 5, lived there for like 8 years, moved to the US for a year, and then came back. So I definitely think the different cultures that I was in growing up would have allowed me to like connect the dots through different scenarios, environments, and I guess like because I think a lot of the stuff I do now is just kind of like mashing up different cultures together or different things that haven't been done before, and I subconsciously probably do have those like experiences of like, oh, like this culture does it that way, this culture does it that way, and you can put stuff together how other people may have not experienced it yet.
Yeah, I think like I did a video on this last night about perspective, like especially for marketing and business. It's like go and gain as much perspective as you can so you can understand people. And you having like a multinational upbringing, especially in the US, means that you're like 5 steps closer to anyone else from New Zealand developing products and having potential success in the US because you've lived there, you've got lived experience. There's a lot of brands like we're gonna go to America, and they do the same thing here, but it doesn't reciprocate to the culture over there. You know what I mean?
No, I look back and I'm really grateful like for those experiences my parents were like to have. But I remember I hated it because it was like we're moving houses like every couple years, and I have to say goodbye to these friends, and it's like why are we always moving, and like I hated change, but I think now it just allows me to like really accept change or like know how to deal with scenarios like that. But no, I think as a child it's really hard to like adapt to new things, but it does give you those skills later on in life, and like I do appreciate being able to like travel around now and like know these things because of like how I was kind of forced to adapt in those scenarios.
Oh yeah, I'm a parent as well, and sometimes I'm showing my daughter things and I'm like, oh, I can tell like she's hating this. But I'm like, I know in the future you'll love knowing how to order off the menu or ask for tomato sauce. You know, like I don't want to run around. I want to just guide you to be able to do your own thing. So did you finish high school here in New Zealand? And
Yeah.
go to uni here?
Yes, so I came back and I went to Westlake Boys High School.
Oh, nice.
So I did
On
like
the shore?
year 11 to year 13, and then I went to University of Auckland for 3 years after that.
Okay. And then I think that's clutch that you got 3 years back here to get those mates just before uni as well. Eh?
Yeah, it wasn't the easiest thing, like going right into like, especially a boys' high school.
Yeah.
I think it was a tough time, but like it, especially like coming from the US and Hong Kong, where the culture is just very, very different, and like it was a big culture shock. Even though I was born in New Zealand, but like
Yeah.
I don't have the same experiences as everyone else. But I again learned to adapt, and like I am grateful that I think it was like a tough time that really helped toughen me up to lead to where I'm doing right now.
Do you find that, like, when when you'd moved around a lot, I suppose by sort of naturally you were isolated because you're still building those friend groups? Do you think actually that isolation kind of was like a point of how you learned to become more creative, or like what did you do
I
when you were on your own?
I think so, yeah, and like I think it's me and my siblings like all share like similar experiences and stuff,
Yeah.
and
Come on,
oh,
just she's not going to come. Get out, Margot.
this might help the podcast a bit, you know?
Yeah.
She likes you. Come
All
on,
right.
Margot.
Get out.
Come on.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Dog.
The question, yeah, I think. Sorry, what?
No, it's all right. So when you went to uni, what did you study? And because what did your like? What was the yeah? What did you study? And was it like what did your parents want you to study? Because
Yeah.
did you have you had like a change and you're like, I'm coming out as a creative,
Yeah,
or anything like that?
It's just a weird one because like thinking back, I probably never would have guessed doing what I'm doing right now. So my last year of high school, I did like start a clothing brand,
Nice.
and I called it Zac Udy Clothing.
Sick.
And it was like my first letter of my first name plus my last name, and it was just like a random thing I could think of.
Yeah.
And complete beginner, didn't know anything about fashion or anything. I just thought like I actually saw a couple of my like friends from high school. They were doing like Bitcoin. They were doing like all that stuff, and
yeah.
he stayed a night at my house, and he like took a snap of it, and he captioned it. Just made $2,000 while my friend's like sleeping in his own bed, like while I'm at his place, and I was like, dang, like I need to make some money, and then like you see these ads about like how to make money quick, and then you're like, I gotta drop ship, I gotta do all these things, and then I was like, oh, why not make like a clothing brand, a print on demand, and everything's automated. So failed like a lot of that, just like not really getting like the sales or anything, but I learned a great amount of like the fundamentals of like how to do a website, how does production work,
Brilliant.
how to do like a campaign, how does things work, how do you find a manufacturer, all these simple things that really helped into doing what I thought was great afterwards. But no, I think back in high school, I was always thinking like, yeah, I'll go to uni. Like most parents expect their kids to go to uni. My parents weren't crazy strict. They're like, as long as like you kind of know what you're doing, it's fine. But it was genuinely like expected that you'll go to university. So I did communications and media, because I did like history, I did like social media and all these things, and I thought like, yeah, I'll do that, get an internship, work at a marketing firm, or I'll just do whatever, like follow these steps. And it was really lockdown that hit me, that I was like just stuck in my room, and I was like, wow, like everyone's just stuck in here, and like my room just looks horrible, and I was like reading a lot, I was like consuming a lot of content, and something I found like that was really important is like your room is a big representation of yourself. If you have a messy room, your thoughts are messy. 100%. If you have like a dirty room, you're probably unorganized. But if you have like a creative and colorful room, it's gonna like radiate back to you. You're gonna feel creative. If you're surrounded by the things you like, you're gonna feel like happy or like a better mood in your room. Exactly. It feels like very clean, very open here. Yeah. And music was like the one thing that resonated the most. And I was like getting more and more into music, and lockdown, you like just exposed to more of that. And I just really wanted to fill my room with the music I liked. And I also thought that other people would want the same thing. So I think that's really helped like inspire the idea of like where like my brand started. And then it was just like a weird like moment that kicked in lockdown where like there is no set path where I have to follow. Like if I work hard and like you can learn anything on YouTube, TikTok, you can really achieve anything you want through social media. Like I can kind of choose my own career. I can kind of choose what I make and like serve the people that I want to serve throughout my work. And I think I just like put my head down and just like grinded through that. And I'm super grateful I get to still do it today and just like kind of learn off my experiences and just keep building something that people love and things that I enjoy myself as well.
100%. I think the first thing I'm thinking about is how cool it is for Gen Z, right? Like I'm a younger millennial, I'm 30. But Gen Z, your confidence, I'm like, yeah, I can make my own future with like seeing all this, like you can make money. But then the confidence in like, well, I can do all of this because I've got sort of information on YouTube and all these other things. Like, yeah, it's expected to go to uni, but you know in the back of your mind, actually, the practical side, you could pick up and learn and just, like the barrier to entry is so much lower, which makes it so cool because you get so many more people entering the market with sick stuff that aren't like held back because they need $100,000 or something. You know?
No, exactly. I think I'm very fortunate to be living in a time where like exactly like the barrier to entry is so low for like so many things. 20 years ago, I don't think, no way I could be doing without, even like 15 years ago, without the level of social media, of how strong it is now. It's so impossible for me and like so many friends I know to be able to have a platform to like show off their stuff or even learn off people, because I feel like how would you have even learned about all the things of how things work? Just impossible.
100%. Like science as well. I was watching something on TV last night, you know, like now everyone knows the same thing, you know. So what's your guys' strategy with social media and growing the business? Are you sort of like 100% organic, or do you do a mixture of organic and some paid ads?
Yeah, I've never run ads beforehand.
Sick!
So I've tried like a little tiny bits, but never really. I've received a lot of positive organic growth, and I think looking back now, I was probably naive. Like I always thought like, oh, if I'm using paid ads and it feels desperate, or like
Nice.
it's like
That's actually a great way to look at it for the start.
Yeah, exactly. And like if things sell out without having to run ads, then it's a good look for the brand. That's how I always was like looking to it. And then now I come to realize all these like big homegrown brands that like have transformed like maybe in like American, they all have like a really good structure of like how they run their brands. And I think what changed my mind is like you can run a good paid ad and you can run probably like a not so good paid ad, and it can make a difference on how your brand is perceived. And I'm always like, the most important thing is like I need the perception of the brand to be really good, and I think there's not one spot where I'm allowed to let it fall off, because I think people perceive your brand at the lowest tier level of how you represent it. You can have the best product, you can have the best website, best customer service, your Instagram looks bad, they're gonna know you for how bad your Instagram looks. So like, that was just one thing in the back of my mind. I was like, I don't wanna look desperate, I don't wanna look like things aren't selling and I have to spend money to push it onto your feed. And I think that's why I never really looked into it, but now I'm definitely open to it. I'm just kind of like waiting for like the right timing for everything.
No, that's perfect. I mean, it's exactly what I encourage brands to do is don't even look at ads until you're doing like 20 grand a month or 50 grand a month, because it makes you work out who the heck you are. Otherwise, before then, you think that you're growing a business, but the thing is, when you turn off ads, it stops. But with organic and brand stuff, it allows you to just float up. You know what I mean? And you drop something and it just goes like that, because the ads it's just advertising. It's not actually helping people fall in love. You're not experimenting and putting in the work. So it's beautiful. I mean, there's a time and place for ads, like for that, just that next level up when you want to kind of go up. But there's like a necessary training period where you have to go fully organic. And I love your perspective on. I didn't want to look desperate. Like that's such a good way to look at it. Mm-hmm. All the best brands that we know that are just killing it right now are the ones that have done just all brand, all organic, and then they're sort of going through this tight period pretty well. The ones who have been all ad focused are battling, you know, like really battling.
Yeah, and like I sort of just realized like there are features that kind of are for free where you can just get like constant exposure without having to pay, and like it's like why would I spend money when I can do it for free? And like trial reels is like an example. Like,
Nice. Trial reels is so good.
Like we've been spamming out like 5 to 10 a day. It's like this is free ads pretty much, and you're getting non-followers and you're getting free followers per day as long as like you're recycling the same content. So it's like this is pretty much an ad, just $0.
100%. Yeah, I got to get mine up to a few a day. We've been reposting a couple that have gone viral, and they still keep cranking along, So take me back to sort of those first few big moments and the artists that you got to meet.
So I still think there's a few like really big moments that I'll always remember throughout like my career of doing this. The one that I think was probably like the most like mind changing that I would have is one of the first TikToks I ever posted. So I had this like Astro World receipt rug, and I lived in Milford at the time, and across the road there was this like half basketball court like next to the beach and stuff. So I went there, filmed it, and it was just a very casual B-roll, just phone on there looking at the rug. I posted that video the first time on TikTok, and this is like, I've never really had a viral video in my life beforehand. Got like 3,000 views. I was like, okay. A couple of days later, delete, post it again, got like 1,000 views. Okay, delete, post again, like, and then 5,000 views. It's like, okay. So the sixth time, the exact same video, 300,000 views. So, and I remember waking up, and so it had like 100K, like when I woke up, and I was like, oh my God. And then my Instagram got to like 1,000 followers. I'm like overnight. And then the TikTok was just like blowing up with like engagement. I was like, I don't know. And at the time, this is 2020, around July, August and stuff. And like I was in a really good routine there. And I was with my friend Tom every Saturday morning at like 6, 7 a.m. would run like over 10K. So that was a Saturday morning. I remember I woke up at 7. I called him, and then because he was training for like a full marathon, so he would run to me. He'd already done 10Ks, which is crazy. And then I'd just go down, meet him, and we'd just be like, I'll be like, bro, like this could actually work. I can make this into like an actual business. People like it. Like I knew this idea would hit. And then that 10K felt like the easiest 10K of my life. I was just kind of like with full adrenaline running down. It was like great weather, sunny, and then coming back, and I just remember being so excited. And then, that adrenaline was something I'll never forget. And it was like such a great moment just from like having that first video that blew up. Yeah. And no, I really like treasure moments like that. It was such a cool story.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. Isn't that funny when those, because dude, same, like business is about ups and downs, eh? Mm-hmm. Sometimes like we've sort of, I started this as an agency, managing Facebook ads, and we did socials and we did content, and I sort of realized that it was just really hard work and not much money out the bottom. Mm-hmm. And so now we're doing training and sort of free content and just trying to get out to lots of people and lower cost. And it's been a grind, bro, for 6 months. And then little moments happen, and you get like this little something worked, and like so we just launched this webinar, workshop, masterclass, and like all these people signing up, and I'm like, that was yesterday. I was like, oh yes, like just when you feel like you're gonna pack it in, just something gives you a little kick, and you're like, no, there's legs in this. Yes.
No, I completely understand that. Like highs are only highs because you have lows, exactly. And like no, they feel so good, especially when like you've like failed beforehand, or like you've taken losses, and it just makes the wins like you just appreciate them more. And you'll probably have more downs afterwards as well, and you just like you'll come back up because you've done it beforehand.
100%. Yeah, and I think anticipating the downs is a key one as well. I think you know, over the years you get better at them, and so like a previous down, when it happens again, it's not a down, it's okay. But the downs get tougher, like they get more challenging, you know?
Yeah, I feel like
Oh.
the downs are never like worse in terms of like a lower level of like your previous downs, but they could be more like detrimental, and like you could be working with like crazier like financial like issues or anything. But then every time you get through it, you build this like inner confidence because you know you've been through it, you can get through it. And like if I know there'll be more downs like within like my business life, personal life, and I just know I'll get through it because I've done stuff beforehand, like, and you just kind of like just know you have this like confidence and just sit through it and anticipate it and just see what you can learn from them and not try and make that same mistake again.
Yeah, bro. So I'm as I said, I'm a millennial. So I came up through Instagram, right? Well, Bebo, but whatever. I came up through Instagram, which I think was a bit of a toxic platform, you know, like lifestyle and like, oh my God, look at me. It was really like that. When it started, it was all landscape photography, which was quite cool. And then it went to lifestyle. But you guys came up through TikTok, right? So you know, more predominantly the chosen platform. So you guys, what I'm saying is, Gen Z get it way more, like just innately. Whereas I still find like I'm trying to learn TikTok, how to just like naturally kind of do something. What do you reckon is the sort of ticket to TikTok, or how do you sort of approach it, and what world is TikTok? What does the TikTok engine want, do you reckon, telling a millennial?
So I think it is an attention app. So it's just like TikTok's gonna promote people's content on like who they think will like stay or like use their app for the most time, or who's less likely going to swipe away or go out of the app. So it's just like, it's just a lot of entertainment predominantly. There is also like educational and stuff, but like a lot of things that you would see on TikTok is probably just like quick dopamine spikes, and most likely you'll forget about the day after.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a healthy relationship with it, or do you have to like manage it?
I used to have a lot of emphasis on TikTok, not so much anymore. Instagram is definitely the backbone. I think Instagram is like your business card. I think like
nice. Yeah.
like your photos that you deliberately keep or videos that you have on your page is your portfolio, and that like when someone taps on your Instagram, that is going to be their first like judgment of who you are, how you present yourself. The numbers matter. The engagement matters, the type of content matters. I think everything matters to the detail. TikTok, I don't think really matters. Same as like you can have 1 million followers on TikTok, you can post a TikTok the next day, you can get 300 views. I don't like.
Yeah, it's pretty ruthless like that actually, hey?
Yeah, but the good side is anyone has the ability to post something and blow up. Instagram, with Reels, you've got like a bit more of an advantage or like opportunity of doing that, but if you're a low follower account, you're just very less likely to get your ideas pushed out. But like you see all the time, new TikTok accounts, like one video, 1 million views.
Yeah.
Like it can happen.
Yeah.
I think it is good for like seeing something familiar. You get like a lot of people who are successful on TikTok who just post a lot, talk a lot, entertain a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think those do get a lot of success throughout that.
I think that's key what you said. It is entertainment. Like you've got to hold the attention, so maybe high energy or movement and things like that. You know.
Yeah.
So what's that second biggest moment for you?
Second, I think most people who know me, like when I will know the story, and like when I met Metro Boomin in Los Angeles, it's definitely the biggest moment of my career, and like it's crazy to think that happened, and it's like really built like a crazy amount of like just self-confidence from that moment into my ability to create stuff. And yeah, that was back in 2023.
Okay.
And our summer, like December, January before that, so we made these hand tufted rugs based off his like rollout of the rugs, and they were like very detailed comic style.
Right.
Like there was like maybe 10 of them in total. So me and 2 other friends, we decided to do 2 each. And so I chose the Travis Scott feature, and I chose the Takeoff feature. and those rugs were like the most difficult, like handmade project I've ever done. But like I was just so determined to. I knew it looked sick. It took me like 100 hours probably to make. Like it was just me in the garage with like the whole frame and canvas. Just like a lot of times, just even staring at it for like 40 minutes and just like, how am I even gonna do the eyes or like the little details with like some yarn and just like poking it through, looking at the printed paper and like kind of like matching everything. But we did it. And at first, like, we, like, tagged Metro Boomin and stuff, like, nothing happened. It was received pretty well, like, our followers and everyone really liked it, thought it was cool. And then it was my first time going to the US. I was staying with my friend in Los Angeles, and throughout that, I had a great time, went to New York as well, and just kind of like go there and like meet people, show off my work, see what opportunities were there, and just have a great time. Metro had this is like 2 days before I was supposed to leave, the first time I was there, and I saw on my story on the way to like Universal Studios, because I just wanted to go there before I left. It's like, oh, pop up in Melrose, and like I'll be pulling up, and I was just like thinking there was one yesterday, and today's the last day. Like I could go there and show him like my rugs. Like imagine how cool that would be. And I was like, probably won't happen or anything like that. And then it came to like 3-4 p.m. and then I was just like, let's just go. Let's just leave early now because it closes at 7 or something. Yeah. So we drive straight from Universal over there, and there's like 2 long lines outside the pop-up. Yeah. One line was to buy the merchandise, and one line was to like meet him, take a photo, get stuff signed. But the only way you could go into that line is if you bought stuff beforehand.
Oh, so it's the second line.
So we split up. I was in the line to meet him, and he went to line to buy stuff, and my line was barely moving. Yeah. And then so he went and bought the stuff, and then his phone died, so I had no idea what was going on and stuff. And while I was waiting, there was a bouncer, security came, and I was literally the guy that he cut off, saying, "Hey, sorry, like this isn't gonna work." And I was like, "Please, like I'm not even from here. Like it's just one person." And there was like 4 people behind me. It felt harsh, and I was like, "Nah." And then I was like, "No, like." I could have shown him my stuff, and like my friend's phone was dead, and he comes sprinting at me. He was like, "Bro, I got you." And then I was like, "What?" It's like I was in there, saw a guy with a camera, and like I got this guy's phone in front of me because mine was dead. I was like, "Yo, can I just borrow it real quick?" He pulls out my Instagram and he goes like, "Yo, like my boy made these rugs. He just wants to give them to Metro. Do you know anyone?" And turns out he's Metro's videographer. His name's Jimmy, really cool guy. And then he introduced my friend Leo to Metro's manager who was there. Her name's Bursa, great person. And then he put in his phone number to her, and she was like, "I want to make this an experience. It'd be cool. Like we want to give them to him." And then and then I kind of got to see what happened outside of the pop-up because I was cut off. And then I was just like, "Oh, this would be sick." His phone was dead. Go back in his car, charge it, and then just get some message from the manager like, "Hey, Leo, like we'd love to make this happen." And then from then, it was just like a lot of back and forth. But I delayed my flight back. Actually got Zac, who's behind, to like I called him. I was like, "I need you to ship the rugs."
I was gonna say, where's the rug?
They're back home in New Zealand. I need you to ship them ASAP. And it was like 6-7 kilos, big like packages of like rugs, and then got them shipped over to his house.
How long did it take to get there?
Really quick. Like used DHL. It was like 3-4 days or something. Yeah, and probably like at first I was like, we gotta get them quick, but there was a lot of like back and forth. He was doing the Spider-Man album. He just finished Coachella, so there was a lot of that, and then we made it happen. And I have a whole full YouTube video of like the whole experience and like meeting him, and it was just a very like surreal moment. And I'm really appreciative that like a friend would go out his way to like make it happen for me, and just like it's been a great moment of like social proof and like having someone at the top of the industry like liking my art pieces. And I just, that moment will always be like a core moment of like a high point. And it's cool to talk about the story always.
Bro, you had me on the edge of my seat, bro. I've actually got goosebumps a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to get to that line? Is he going to get in?
Yeah. Well, you've seen the
Oh, far out. Oh, no, it's awesome. And it's funny, like, those those sort of moments there, or like it's almost like an award, but you know, those are when we have this thing called like the coffee shop test. It's like when someone's talking about you to their friend, what do they say? And that's probably the first thing they say. You know, it's
Yeah.
an accolade, I suppose.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people are like, oh, well, what's the point? It's not important. This is our business structure. But no, those things really do matter. If you've got the opportunity to do something like that, or come up with an idea that was not going to make you any money, but it's not directly, but it's showing you're creative, and just like having space for doing absolute innovative, crazy stuff, like working that into the calendar, man. You know, or you don't have to be prescriptive about it, but some people are really focused on like, I don't know, just getting the engine going. But you got to be whack. You got to come up like, okay, I'm going to do a 100-hour project.
Yeah, yeah. And there was two of them, so it probably added up to like 180 or something.
Yeah,
But like,
wow.
yeah, no, it was. I just knew it would look cool, and I came in with the mindset as like, I don't have to sell them. If no one gets them, I'll keep them in my room. Like,
Yeah.
I would have wanted it regardless. And I think a lot of stuff that I make is things that I would initially want in my room anyways. And I think that itself, like, people appreciate, like, that is really like poured in with like a lot of like attention into like the detailing, into like something that people love. And it's not just something I think this will sell, I think people would buy. It's something that I want, and I trust myself as, and like my taste. And if I want something, there has to be someone else who would want it as well.
Yeah, I think that's true. I was always self-conscious about like creating a product like, oh, what if someone doesn't like it, or this is like way too me. And then I've sort of tried starting little brands and done one set of products and be like, oh no, it didn't sell, fuck it. Whereas like now I'm a bit more mature and a bit more okay with myself. I'm like, well, if I was to create a more like a fashion brand, you're not making it for anyone. You're making it for yourself, and people are attracted to what you're making for yourself. You know what I mean? Like that's people don't try to make something for others. I don't think that's the way you do fashion or artistic things like your homeware and things like that. They want to be pulled into that take that you've got on that shape or those colours, and, you know. But you get there by keep coming back and developing it, and developing your own personality for the brand or whatever. One day I might do something. What does the business look like now? Like, how many of you guys are there, and what does the sort of next couple of years look like for you? Is there sort of like, well, these are our core products and these are our like premium ones, or that's kind of getting quite businessy, but how are you sort of sitting with that now?
I think like I've never always had like a set way of how things work. I think a lot of things change. I can also have a new idea that I think we're just going to work, and things could change based on like what I am working on or decide to work on. But right now I just have my best friend that like works full time, and he does like a lot of like editing, social media, videography, and we travel quite a lot. So we just came back from Asia. I spent a couple months there. So one thing that I like to do in the last few years is just attend like events, like especially like Complex Con, where it's kind of like the Super Bowl of like fashion music, and go there. And it's a great spot to also have other creative friends meet up and just like experience it, learn, take inspiration, meet other people that you look up to, and see how people do it in like a super high level. And we did end up doing our own booth in the Hong Kong Complex Con in March. So that was something that I spent most of my start of the year working towards. So I think it definitely like pushed me back into like, oh, let me think of new products. I didn't really spend as much time just because I was like focusing on doing like a physical activation where I have no real experience into. And I had like a real good friend of mine who was like a little bit older than me, and he was kind of like a mentor who like also helped make it happen. And it was also like very last minute, but we made it happen. It was a huge success. And I think just looking towards making an improved experience like that in the future, I would also like to just work on like Home Invasion's branding itself, so we can in the future have like our own like clothing stuff, have even more creative products, but I want to do it in a very tasteful manner. I don't want to rush it, and I want like it to represent something that people can be proud of, and it's something that the product has to be good at the end of the day. So I'm just kind of like ideating, sampling, and just kind of thinking like what would work, how things could work, and yeah, I have products that I've made before that on the website that sell throughout, so that kind of keeps the business running. And then I also like to have like projects and campaigns which are like more like scarce items where they sell out instantly, and those tend to like be fun to work on as well, because you just have like different moments of like you sample it, you take photos, you do a photo shoot, you post it, and you build up hype, and then you like have all these like little giveaways or promotions, and then you have the drop date, and then you just hope they sell out like as soon as possible.
Yeah. Oh, bro, you've got a really good structure, and I love that. Like, I always talk about this, but you have like your campaign stuff where you make five things or 10,
thanks.
and then you got your sort of premium stuff that you're known for, and that keeps the business going. And then at this end, which you're saying you've got in production is like your gateway products. You know, like could be merch or whatever. But what will be cool is when you turn that tap on is there'll be a whole lot of people that follow you but can't afford your premium products yet, and so. But they want something. They want a little bit of the brand. So once you kind of get that rolling, you'll start to kind of allow people to sample your brand. You know, Virgil Abloh. I just saw this video he did the other day, and he was like, "Yeah, you need that. You need those sort of like core gateway products. Otherwise, you're shutting the door on people who want to, you know, be a part of your brand." A good little key one, which you're probably kind of already doing anyway, is like, if you're going to do merch, do things that are one size fits all at the start, so you don't like stuck with sizing, because that's like that can really stuff you.
One thing Virgil says, and I probably like resonates with like my situation. He was like, if my stuff's too expensive for you, go make your own stuff. Like this is why like I have my stuff priced at here, and this is why like it's to give you like the opportunity to like learn off me or to like take inspiration. It's like 3% rule and everything like that, and like. He is just like a great guy.
What was that one, the 3% rule?
So his 3% rule is like, take something and change it by 3%, and you can like make it your own.
Okay.
So he did that with like, I think with shoes. Funnily enough, the receipt rugs I started with, it was because he made a receipt rug with IKEA, which I saw like someone having the I thought it was the coolest thing ever, but no one had made them into like an album with like the song tracks and everything, and I was like, well, I wanted it. If no one's made it, I'm gonna make it. And so a lot of it is taking inspiration, his aesthetic, and just like how open he was to like teaching like younger people how to do stuff, and it's his influence is like amazing, and I take a lot of inspiration, and a lot of my friends do as well.
Yeah, so you come up in a cool era, you know. Like, I came up through Shock Mansion, like blog and Tumblr. That was my that was really like influenced stuff.
You guys had Vine, you could have blown up.
We had a bit of Vine, yeah, bro. But you know, the funny thing was about so technology now is caught up. So you know, when something gets released, it's in every country in the world. But still, when I was a teenager, we were still very late to get things. Weirdly, like I'm not that much older, but that's how quickly things have changed. So when there was things like Vine, no one really had a good enough phone here yet.
Okay.
We were just a couple of years behind the US, and that's kind of like why we didn't quite get there. For example, like pages never really happened in New Zealand. That skipped over us. You know, like you know, a pager is.
I actually don't. I don't know what that is, but
pager was like this weird thing in the 90s where you'd go, a payphone would call someone's beeper, but you couldn't answer from this. It would just say, "Go to the phone."
Okay.
It would just let you know to go and call someone. Like,
okay.
But they never happened here. Like, it happened in the US. Anyway, so tell me, what's the vision over the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I think I want to improve my craft and the things I make. I want to make like even more like cooler statement pieces. I want to like broaden out like maybe into like the sports lane, or just keep outdoing myself. I think that's what keeps me excited. Whenever I get a new sample of something that's like super cool and super hard to make, that's like like the biggest dopamine I get. And then once I drop the item, I'm probably like, I'm already like sick of seeing it for like so many times. It's not that special to me, but and then people like kind of like have to like tell me like, bro, like you have to realize so many people is only seeing this for the first time. It's like super sick. And I was like, true, I do remember how cool it was the first time. But yeah, improve my craft. I want to improve the branding. I want to like really work on like creating like a tribe of supporters for the brand. I know how important it is to like serve the community and to like your supporters, and to like kind of keep outdoing myself in terms of like storytelling, in terms of branding, in terms of like making them feel proud to like wear a piece. And that could be like shoes, clothing. I think it's a little bit harder with like home decor because like you can't really, it's hard for you to market for me out in public. Like, I still haven't seen someone in public who was just like wearing my stuff, because I only like recently made shoes in the last like year or so, but I wouldn't know if they had my rug or had any of those things. And I think like seeing so many successful brands such as like Cortez or so many other ones out there, just people wearing that is such a cool feeling. And that would be a goal, to like build the brand where I could like get to that stage. I want to do cool like pop-ups, activations. I want to do cool collaborations. But I think at the end of the day, like I started with, I want to make my room cooler, and I just want to keep continuing that while also improving the infrastructure. That's like maybe having more employees that I can like delegate jobs to. I have like a better structure, better like automations, and just have like a better flow, and just always having fun while I'm doing it. And I think that's super essential, that like I've never like dreaded working with what I'm doing, because I know I just like really enjoy it, super passionate about it, and I don't ever want to take it for granted as well.
Oh, bro, such a good perspective. I really, I love that. Product first, business after. But that's, if you focus on the product, it kind of takes care of itself.
I know how important one idea could really change someone's life. Like you can have one super idea that you can drop, you can make tons of money, or you can lead to a lot of opportunities, and it could really shape the next few years or decades of your life just based on like working really hard on one thing. And that's why like I try to encourage anyone like I don't know what to do, I don't have it. I was like, bro, like it takes one good idea. You can have a million bad ideas, but you execute one really well, everything changes. And luckily enough, it didn't take me like too many tries to have that one thing. But I just want to like tell people like even if you think you're not creative or anything, like you can learn to be creative through like observing other people. You can learn to like connect dots. Reading helps. Changing your environment helps. Researching helps a lot. And like these are things that I all did throughout lockdown to really improve like the foundations of like myself. I was making random just letters or photos I would buy off like designers just to slap on shirts, thinking that would sell in high school. I was nothing creative or anything at all. And then I just learned to like start new things and see like really observe like how successful brands that could be like just one tier or a few tiers that are better than me, and like see how they execute a campaign and just learn off like their winning points and like put them into mine.
Yeah, that's epic, bro. Yeah, being creative is a muscle. You can start as a pimsqueak, no creative muscle like me, and then I watched Taika Waititi has got a TED talk on like growing your creative muscle, and that literally was the turning point for me. I was like, oh, you don't have to be born creative. Like you can just kind of get better and better. And
True.
Yeah,
I should watch that when I get back.
Yeah, I'll link it to you.
I did watch your oldest podcast talk about like Rick Rubin, and like he like anything could be creative. The way you drive back home is creative. Like there's creativity in everything. You just have to like change the lens and how you see things, and like you can start off really small, but like it's just very possible for like I think most people to like really showcased or like show their like creativeness in so many different things throughout their everyday life.
Yeah, brilliant. All right, bro. Well, thanks for coming in. It's Friday afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Might get a beer and a pizza.
a great chat. Thank
Yeah,
you.
such a good chat. No, bloody hell, you're inspiring me a lot.
Thank you.
This
I
would be
appreciate it.
this would be a good potty, and yeah, sick.
No, I'm glad it's good to be on the podcast and have a chat.
Sweet.